Look around you. How many things in your immediate environment can you see that didn't once start out as an idea in someone's mind? Google defines manifestation as the public display of emotion or feeling or something theoretical made real. Manifestation's origins are in religion and spirituality because if something spiritual becomes real, it is said to be manifestation. The word's usage has then spread to include all aspects of life. But separate to those words which don't really mean anything, manifestation is just the process of crystallizing your thoughts into reality. And we constantly do this on a small scale every day, but also on a larger scale over months and years into our lives. You are constantly producing your reality through your short-term and long-term thoughts. But what you clicked on this video for was to direct your flow of consciousness in such a way that you can manifest the goals that you want. Now, before we start, there are three major energies in life really, but also when it comes to manifestation. And these are destruction, sustenance, or creation. If you're astrologically inclined, you know this as mutable, fixed, or cardinal energy. Throughout our everyday lives, we embody each of these energies at different intensities.
For some tasks, sustenance predominates. For others, creation dominates. And others, destruction.
So when I wake up and go straight on my phone, I'm sustaining a habit of going on my phone, which can be destructive for my mental health, but can help me create things because I'm interfacing with the external world. When I go downstairs and have a healthy breakfast, I'm sustaining my physical body, creating a meal, and also destroying that meal for consumption. You see how it works? Now, this concept might be a bit of a head, so I'll use an analogy of a river to explain what I'm trying to say. Imagine you're trying to manifest something you've wanted for a long time. A river represents a flow, and in this case, it's the flow of all consciousness we interact with as humans.
The river's stream in this analogy gets its direction from the sum total of all volitions, desires, and basic needs
of living things all over the world. In this way, the direction of the river's flow is decided by the thought waves of the majority of all of life we see around us. Now, this is different from a real life river because that gets its flow from however the natural landscape around it has composed itself. But I want you to take note that in both cases, the river's flow is directly decided by natural forces or by nature. So back to our analogy, the consciousness stream of our hypothetical river is flowing in a certain direction. Using manifestation to your advantage is a bit like stepping into this river and using its current to direct you where you want to go. Now, majority of people jump in the river and go with the flow. They are not disturbing the waters wherever it takes them. So be it. They will deal with the consequences, whatever they may be, good or bad, when they get there. This is a sustaining behavior. The destroyers are the people that get into this river and try to stop the flow by digging their feet into the ground that the river runs over. Now the river's flow has to maneuver its way around the obstacle that this person has created. If enough destroyers stand in the river, you create a dam, which would completely block the flow of our river of consciousness. Funnily enough, this is actually where the word dam comes from. And once you understand it, it's probably the worst curse word you could use etymologically. To damn someone or something means to inflict loss on them by blocking their flow of consciousness or flow of thought. In Christian belief, the word damn means to be condemned by God, which means to be forever damned by one of the most famous archetypes of the destruction energy, Lucifer, or the devil. It's interesting how damn sounds like damn, and that N is still tacked on because of the dem in the word condemn. But anyway, I digress. The third and most powerful energy is creation energy. Those who stand in the river, but do not try to stop the flow of the current, instead directing at least a portion of the stream in a way that they want to see it directed, which we can visualize as diverging a new path for a percentage of the original stream to go down, which kind of like symbolizes the direction which the person wants to take that stream. And like you would assume from this visualization and this whole analogy, doing this takes a lot of hard work, time, and effort, which is why you can only really get what you want by putting in the action that you need to take to go and get it. We are all gods innately. We can all access this creation energy within us, but not everybody realizes it. People don't really like to accept it, but those of you that believe in God but don't really do anything with that belief, as in relying on God's plan to get them where they need to go without putting in any actual effort themselves, are not actually realizing the fact that this godly power that I'm talking about, which isn't even really a godly power, we've just been socialized to believe that we are lesser than and that we need to fear some higher power in the sky. This ability to take action and get what you want is innately built into the human condition. In this way, the teachings of religion have kind of failed them, even though that in most cases
It didn't intend to.
these are the people that are subconsciously going with the flow, right? They're going wherever their life takes them. And the same can be said for like atheists and people that aren't very spiritual. Even though this isn't a bad thing, you kind of find yourself, without aiming at that higher power, you kind of find yourself in that mode of sustenance, which is good. We need people to be in the mode of sustenance, right? We need people to sustain what we have. And that's why a majority of people are in that sustenance mode. Anyway, it's all well and good to trust someone else to be the decider of your reality, whether it be God, the government, or a guardian. But true manifestation comes from knowing, not believing, but knowing that you are the master of your own fate. And there's only one way to prove that, right, really, is to do what you actually want to do. Just do what you want. Not always in a destructive or a creative way, but just in a balanced way. Do what you want. Live your life the way you want to live your life. But the only way to do this is to kind of know yourself, because our dreams, our ability to imagine, which is kind of like our genius, is damned like the river when we are constantly distracted. You can have whatever you want, but if you distract your thoughts constantly, it will not work. Your desires, like plants around the river, need sunlight and water to grow, which can be, analogized to thought and action for your goals to be fulfilled. We're also distracted by small dreams, right? And there's nothing bad about this inherently. I'm just saying this because it's my experience, right? A new car, new shoes, whatever. Not to say that there's anything wrong with these desires, but if you could make a wish and have it come true 100%, what would you wish for? I know I wouldn't be wishing for a new car or new shoes, because it's just like not a smart wish to make if you only had one guaranteed wish, right? Now this begs the question, how many of us have original thought? If I was to ask you what your dreams were, what your future would look like, how much of your answer comes from your original thought, from what you actually want? Be honest. How much of what you say is going to be genuinely what you want? When you realize that the person that grants that wish, the genie, if you will, is within you, you become a genius. And a genius is someone who has the ability to control the current of their thoughts, their dreams, and their imaginations, which inherently becomes their future. You are constantly weaving your future with every single thought you have every day. Whatever you wake up and think about first thing in the morning, or the last thing you think about before you go to bed at night, that is the future you are weaving for yourself, either consciously or subconsciously. This is the entire premise of something like the American dream, and why it has been promoted for so long in westernized culture. The more time you spend dreaming about houses, cars, money, and fame, the more likely you are to achieve it, which financially incentivizes the individual who dreams of such things.
But also makes a lot of people much richer in the process.
Think about house and car payments, taxes, etc. True manifestation then is the ability to harness original thought, because whatever you think about the most will be brought into existence. If you control your thought patterns, you control the outcome of your life. Hence, if you control the media, which is the main agent that places ideas into all of our heads, you control the matrix, or the world that we live in. So to fully harness the power of your consciousness, be aware of your thoughts, intentionally write your goals down, take action to step closer to your goals, rinse and repeat. After this, you just need to be patient and self-reflective. Ask yourself, in the grand scheme of things, on an objective scale, are you a force for destruction, sustenance, or creation? No matter what you answer, use your power, whatever you're best at, to benefit yourself and those around you. Energy goes where attention flows. All you have to do is imagine.